Welcome to the Healthy Lifestyle Show podcast. Our podcast is all about eating healthy, being active, and living a healthy lifestyle. This podcast is brought to you by activeandnaturalstore.com. Let's jump into this week's podcast topic and welcome our guest. Hey, well, welcome back, Jay. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, no, good to see you. And just so you know, I want to excuse ahead of time because I'm a little bit uneasy and, not feeling well. But I thought let me still, go to the studio and, share some of this information.
Okay.
And the reason why I didn't want to skip, because we received some good feedback, by the way.
Excellent.
From some of our mushroom lovers. So I want to thank all those people who love mushrooms, first of all.
Yeah.
And I love mushrooms.
Yes.
And they had some interesting suggestions, commentary,
Okay.
and all of that. They said, first of all, we loved all the information and we are happy and we're looking forward for these episodes. And that makes me very happy. It actually gives me energy to talk more and more about this.
Yeah.
And they said, can we talk a little bit more? I know they understand the limitation. They understand that in a given time frame, it's not possible for us to do justice with one mushroom.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I say, you know what? We like to keep it as short as possible because, podcast can be 2 hours long, 3 hours long, but, it's not meaningful because there could be a very small population which might be interested in that long. Yeah. But we are trying to address and share the information for the benefit of a bigger population over here.
Yeah.
So keeping everything in mind, I wanted to at least talk about Reishi mushroom once again.
Okay.
And even some of the information which I shared last time, I would repeat that here again because, people said that it's good to listen to everybody, again and again. So I thought, let me do a little bit more justice. And I have some notes also over here.
Okay.
And I would refer back so that I can cover more.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I start, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think it's really great that we've been getting comments about the topics and questions. Absolutely.
You know that I love when people contact us back and give us their feedback,
Yeah.
Okay, so since this is more structured and that's the format I may like to follow.
Okay.
In future for any of the mushroom which I am going to talk about. So you'll see me now more with these kind of notes, the bullet points.
Yeah.
And some of these names for the mushrooms in different culture, different kind of, I want to excuse all our listeners. Hey, I don't know if I'm pronouncing some of those names correct or not. And we'll talk about that, as I go along. And if I do it wrong by any chance, please excuse me ahead of time. Hey, there's so many names, so it's difficult to know all of those, Okay, so the first of all, reishi mushroom.
Yeah.
What do scientists like to call? I know you don't have the answers.
Yeah, I can't recall. Please, I didn't know there was going to be a test.
All right, so the experts, the scientists, the researchers, everybody calls it by one name, which is Ganoderma lucidum.
Okay.
Okay, I think I talked about that in the last episode also, and that was fun. Yeah. It was not intended that I was checking your vocabulary once again. No, that was not the idea over here. Now, talking about the interesting different facts about the reishi. So basically the gist of everything, what people were looking for, more interesting information, more something which not many people do talk about it. Everybody talks about health.
Yeah.
I would talk about health, but there's so much to know, so much to learn about every mushroom. So people said that why don't we cover more about some of that? And I said, why not? I think that's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
So the Chinese name, I think I had covered last time also, it's called Lingzi. Now, the word ling means miraculous or divine, and the word zi it's the plant of longevity.
Okay.
And so basically, it's a plant, or this mushroom specifically. It's almost like a plant of immortality. Immortality. Oh gosh. So basically, this was taken by all the older civilization because it was increasing the lifespan.
Yeah.
It was making their system more immune to all the viruses, bacteria, and everything else. So when you are less sick, that means you have less number of challenges, and the chances and it increases your lifespan because you're more healthy. That's the whole idea over here.
Okay.
The Japanese name for this same mushroom is, and it could be wrong the way I'm saying it, is called manintake, which means immortality plant.
Okay.
I don't know, manintake, whatever it is. Please correct me if you know Japanese.
I sure don't know Japanese.
Okay, now I'm going to make it a little bit more tough. The Korean name for this is Yongji. Yongji. Okay.
Okay.
All
Don't know
right.
Korean either.
We'll have fun. We'll talk about all of these different names for different mushrooms. So we'll have more fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I talked about last time also, even though I didn't have all the notes and all that, but I think I was right over there. It came from my head that this is a medicinal mushroom in the traditional Chinese therapy, and traditional Chinese therapy has been there for 2 centuries, 2,000 years, not centuries, 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So it's pretty old.
Yeah.
It's not something new, and this has been coming from the Han dynasty, which is one of the kind of good dynasty in the Chinese history.
Okay.
Another point, this was raised by Roger from Oregon, and he says that, hey, I love mushrooms and I want to talk about it more and more. I wish I could talk to you face to face. Hey, you're always welcome to talk to me face to face. Give me a call. He said that I am growing mushrooms in my backyard. So he has a greenhouse.
Yeah.
And he said that I've created some nice area where the temperature is very good. And he's using the sawdust put in the kind of bags. And that's where he's growing the reishi mushroom. He says, is it the right way? Or, first of all, hey, I don't cultivate anything, so I don't have that luxury. We live here in Calgary, Canada, which is extremely cold, and we get very short span. So I don't do those kind of experiments.
It's a very dry climate as well.
And this is not fit for, these kind of things. We get
Not so much.
3 months, 4 months kind of a window.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
And so we can't experiment. We just do whatever we can in that short span.
Yeah.
But hey, having said that, any kind of mushroom for that reason, there are 3 ways you can use for cultivation. One is the dead wood logs. Another one is the dust, which is basically the sawdust. Another one is wood chips. So, and some people use the rice bran and, but these 3, which I shared just now, are good for most of the mushrooms. You can always experiment and you can check it out. It should work in most of the cases.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there are so many benefits, and that's what it excites me.
Yeah.
For reishi mushroom, and it's because of some of that bioactive molecules it does have.
Okay.
And these are difficult names, so you have to excuse me ahead of time.
Yeah.
It does have terpenoids, steroids, phenols, nucleotides, and what else? Let me see. and some derivatives, glycoproteins, polysaccharides, lots of gibberish. But it's all good.
Yeah.
It's because these are the essential amino acids. And these are so good, it's also rich in lysine and leucine. The best part, which I always say, many people take mushroom because of it's high in vitamin D. Do you know that?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay, good. Excellent. And another reason is it's very low in fat content. So those people who are conscious of their weight, or who are trying to reduce weight, it's a good advice for them, that, hey, go ahead, make more and more mushroom part of your diet.
Yeah.
Whichever mushroom you like. Specifically, reishi mushroom for sure,
Yeah.
Because, hey, you're taking more vitamin D, and it's extremely low in fat, and then it's making you full.
Yeah.
So you're not eating other stuff. And in any case, it's very high in polyunsaturated fatty acids, which is again another good thing for our diet.
Yeah.
There are 3 major physiological active components it does have, which is polysaccharides, peptidoglycans, and triterpenes. Gosh, I'm happy I'm not a scientist.
Yes.
I love to talk about mushrooms for what it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for me that I can convert that complicated stuff into simplified, because that's what it works for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I meant for, maybe.
Yeah.
Important thing to know.
Okay.
And I'm not supporting this claim.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is what, if you eat it, it's going to do that. Just want to give you this disclaimer ahead of time.
Yeah.
Even though the lots of research has been done and many researchers have made these kind of claims, and those are well known, even some hospitals and good known researchers. But I'm not saying, hey, whatever you figure it out, you go and check it out, you do your own research. But it has been taken for centuries and centuries because of one major reason.
Okay.
It gives you power. That means your body.
Yeah.
The power to fight any kind of cancer.
Okay.
Cancerous cells. So if cancer runs in your family, it might be a good idea to start being proactive. You have nothing to lose.
Nope.
Take it more often.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it's giving you some benefit. And if you can delay the whole thing, or maybe you never get it, that's a great win.
Yep.
And it doesn't cost you anything extra here because you're eating good stuff.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. But if somebody has got that kind of situation, then I think in those cases they should be going more for maybe mushroom powder or maybe mushroom capsules.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of everything has been like you eat so much of mushroom, but everything can be that power can be converted into capsule.
So concentrated.
It's all concentrated.
Yeah.
It's good for you, good for me, good for everybody then in that case. Because it's general health tonic.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would suggest everybody should look at it. Not look at it as a remedy.
Yeah.
But look at it more like a preventive way of maintaining healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
And it gives your body so much of superfoods, antioxidants, that is good for you, good for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key here, which I normally avoid, that.
Yeah.
And even when people say, hey, there's so much research, this has been proven and all that, I can refer those research. I can refer those studies. I can share all of that. Maybe I'll do that going forward. Maybe next time I might do a little bit more. But I don't want to make any of those kind of things, or I don't want to piggyback on those.
Yeah.
I can share, and hey, you be a judge. You do your own research and find it out, and then take something like this. But what I believe in is that this mushroom is so good that people have now started realizing that this is not only good for that kind of prevention, it's also good for many other things. Like, if somebody has maybe the blood sugar health issues, reishi mushroom is recommended for that.
Okay.
They should start taking it. Somebody has liver health issues, gastric health issues, or in general, any of those kind of things.
Yeah.
This mushroom is so good. It gives you comprehensive benefits to different body functions. That, hey, you're getting so much in that one capsule. If you're taking a capsule, or if you're taking powder, if you're taking anything like that, if you're eating whatever form you like it, take it. That would be my suggestion. Now that brings to the another issue of, and that was a question coming from one lady. She said she put her name Mushroom Mom. She didn't want to give her name over there.
Fair enough.
And we never share anybody's information. So whenever you sharing anything with us, we will never divulge that information for the public consumption like this. So we maintain everything private here. She said that what's the best way to take mushroom? So when it comes to, let me talk about maybe reishi mushroom.
Okay.
So you can take many of these mushrooms, including reishi mushroom, in the soup form. That's what Mushroom Mom, the lady I'm talking about, does take. And they had a local chapter, and she was talking about it, that hey, and then somebody challenged her, so she said, she put that question to us. So first of all, yes, you can make any kind of soup. Tonic soup, people love it. They have a blend of different mushrooms, and they make it that way. Whatever works for you, something like that is an ideal form of taking mushrooms. Another one is that some people love to take in the form of stir fry. Now, everybody does have different taste buds. Some people love that way. Some people don't like that way. Again, do what works for you. Some people love taking in the form of tea. So you dry the mushroom, take the powder, or take the chunks, and take the hot water, put that in some kind of a, maybe what do you call that, tea strainer?
Strainer or tea ball.
Oh yeah. And you basically then make the tea over there.
Steep it the way you would do it a loose tea.
That's right. And if you want to make it a little bit more interesting for yourself, you can add honey. You can add maple syrup. Again, it's up to you. If you want to add lime, you can add lime. You can even add couple of leaves of mint. So many choices are there. Make it interesting the way you want to make it interesting. Use the powder. You can use the powder in the form of, maybe you can mix it up with your smoothie.
That would be an ideal way to use it.
Absolutely. You can even put that into your soup. That's another way of using it. And the last one, which is my favorite, because hey, I'm no hassle guy. I don't do all that. I'm not that. I'm okay for cooking, but I'm not that good. I can manage my things in my own way. So for people like me who know that life is busy, keep things simple, that's who I am. Take the capsule. Hey, you get it, and then even after that, if you want to take because I love taking mushroom stir fry, mushroom veggie, mushroom this, mushroom that. So, hey, I can always take, but at least I'm sure I've taken what I should be taking every day, and that's a mushroom capsule.
Yeah.
So now, after that, I can keep experimenting. That's my way of looking at it. First of all, take it whatever way you want to take it. That's the best way to do it. The only thing is when you take it in the form of soup or stir fry, since you're adding some, heat and all that, there's no research done, but I don't know if you lose any nutrients or not. I have no idea. I'm just basically cautioning that when you take in the form of powder or when you take in the form of capsule, you're taking basically virtually everything as it is, the nature has given. So that's the purest way of taking it. That's the only thing I can say, I think. I don't know if you want to add anything on that.
No, probably. I mean, if you were eating a raw mushroom, but...
Yeah, and it's not easy for everybody to do that.
And we're kind of creatures that like cooked food.
Yeah, obviously. And then we should, I love food.
Yep. I do like food.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be my answer to you. And hey, I loved your question. But again, you can't win that, kind of debate with anybody because, hey, which way is the best way to take mushroom? Because my way of taking mushroom could be totally different than your way of taking mushroom.
Yeah.
I might like to take it a little bit spicy or raw or bland or...
Yeah.
Everybody is different.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say, take it whatever way it works for you. Enjoy it. Because that's the best way to do it. Because once you start enjoying it, then you're taking the benefit of that mushroom naturally.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to say.
Okay.
Hey, I would be happy to share more and more. And I would keep this format next time so that we can be more talking about these different interesting facts and these kind of things and make this podcast information more interesting for you. With that, I want to say thank you very much. Anything else you want to mention?
Nope. I think maybe just that we're being sponsored by Active and Naturals since we're doing the supplements, and we have all of that information will be on our in the information about the videos.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again next time. If you want to start your healthy lifestyle journey, don't forget to get your free ebook at healthylifestyleformula.com to start your healthy lifestyle journey in easy-to-follow steps. This podcast was brought to you by ActiveAndNaturalStore.com.